Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, folks, are we approaching a golden era? And this might very well be the beginning or just the first phase of it. Things are going really well in Tennessee land, and not to brag, but I'll tell you what, it's hard to win SEC titles, and we're stacking them like cordwood over here. All right, folks, before we get going, it's Memorial Day. We do want to take a moment, and I'm going to kind of do that through this video in various forms. But I want to thank all the men and women that give us the opportunity to sit over here and talk about sports. Without their sacrifice, obviously this wouldn't be happening. We'd be goose stepping or something along those lines if not for our military. And I know sometimes they get thrown some shade at them by the media, and that's very unfortunate, but that's how the media is. They don't respect a whole lot of anything sometimes. And I'm not talking about sports journalists, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, a lot of us, a ton of us, respect the crap out of what you did and what you did for us. And don't ever let that negativity get to you, because there's way more of us that appreciate what you did and what you continue to do as the ones that give you crap. So anyway, let's get into the Vols and what the heck's going on. I want to start out with just the recent baseball hysteria. We've won the SEC regular season and the tournament, which is really hard to do. You know, he went into the tournament with a bullpen strategy because he wanted to rest his pitchers, get them ready for the regionals. But once they kind of got cooking in the SEC tournament, their competitive nature took over and wound up winning the whole thing. And let's see what they're talking about here on social media. I think people are pretty excited. As you can see here, got a real nice picture of the tournament champs. Here we are going to be playing Northern Kentucky Friday, I believe. I don't know if we've got a time yet on that, but we're the number 1 seed at 50-11. Of course, we're playing at Lindsey Nelson, which is a big advantage, and we'll be playing the number 4 seed. There's 4 teams in a regional. Here they are coming out after the victory, excited. God, what a great pitch. Those last 2 curveballs or change-ups that he threw to strike the guys out, that was amazing. They're loving it. Their second conference championship in the same year, which is extremely rare, folks. That does not happen very often. Here they are celebrating again from a different angle. Here they are having some fun. I remember being that age and playing golf over at UT, and we did stupid crap like that all the time. It was awesome. We never won the SEC title, though. Had we won one, we'd have done exactly this. On a golf course, though. Here they are enjoying their championship. Here was the big pitch at the end. Oh, man. That was exciting. And folks, it's important that we enjoy this because SEC titles are so rare. I mean, especially in baseball, because if you think about it, the best teams in the nation by far in baseball are in the SEC. Kind of like football. It's almost identical to football when it comes to that. And then, of course, basketball is really tough as well. And we won the SEC title. We won the entire conference outright and then wound up making it to the Elite 8 until we ran into Zach Edey. So the basketball team has had a fantastic season. And, of course, we just picked up Chaz Lanier. We picked up several great players out of the portal. I think we'll be terrific next year. And then our football team has really been improving. 2022 with Hendon Hooker was amazing. Wound up being 11-2 for the season, finished 6th in the country. Last year we had a bit of a pullback. We won 9 games, won our bowl game, which was the Citrus again. And we got to see Nico for the first time, and he's got everybody excited because you can just see that he's special. He is an ideal fit for what Josh Heupel does with that offense, and I think our football team is only going to improve. I really think we're going to make the playoff this year, you know, barring some unforeseen injury or something along those lines. I really like our chances to go 10-2, make it into the playoff, and be a very dangerous team. Who knows? We might go 11-1. You never know. If we go 9-3, I don't think we'll make it. 8-4 is the floor for us now, which I'm fine with 8-4 being the floor, worst case scenario, and 11-1 probably being our best case scenario. That's a huge turnaround from where we were 4 or 5 years ago when we were pretty much rotten. And you can see the huge difference that's happening with the Vols. I think a big part of it is Danny White, as our athletic director, is doing a tremendous job. He's just somebody that knows what he's doing. He really does. He's got a great history. He came from UCF. His whole family, they're either basketball coaches or they're athletic directors. And he's really got us on a great path. He's improving the facilities like crazy. He's taken us to the next era of sports. He just made a terrific hire with the ladies basketball team. I think she's going to be terrific. Kim Caldwell, I feel really good about that. Unfortunately, the women's softball, who I thought they might win the national title this year, they got beat out by Alabama to a grand slam yesterday. So they didn't make it out of the super regionals. But anyway, things just couldn't be going better at UT. And also a shout out to Donde Plowman, our chancellor, who went after the NCAA when they stupidly decided to attack us over the Nico plane ride or whatever from California, because I guess he was supposed to walk from California or buy a plane ticket on his own, even though it was a recruiting weekend. His NIL paid for an airline ticket and flew him to K-Town. And that's not allowed for some reason, which is the biggest bunch of hogwash. There weren't even rules on the NIL during that time. But anyway, the NCAA decided to try to make an example out of us, and we warned them and warned them and warned them, don't go down this path. If you do, bad things are going to happen to you. Well, they didn't listen, so we pretty much handled the NCAA.
You're all clear, kid. Now let's blow this thing and go home. Stand by.
And the good thing is all this was going to get worked out anyway with all of these lawsuits. You could see it was coming. The Supreme Court had voted 9-0 on all this stuff. So they were going to be able to pay players, but we didn't need that hanging over us for another 6 months. And having that preliminary restraining order took care of that. And I would think at some point this case will get resolved pretty easily, because now with this settlement that the whole situation up in Greenville, Tennessee even matters anymore, they may drop that whole thing. If not, we're going to win it anyway. So the NCAA learned their lesson, and look, all these changes were coming regardless. And the NCAA knew it, and the conferences knew it, so they agreed. And now there's going to be revenue sharing for the players, 20%. We've talked about that quite a bit. And the two big questions, NIL and Title IX. NIL is going to continue to exist. I think it will not change very much at all. And then also the Title IX, it's going to be resolved at some point in the courts. And you're probably going to see some sort of a revenue split with the men and the women, which is one of the reasons you'll need to keep the NIL as well. But anyway, I did want to take this time. I hope the Tennessee folks, and I've been saying this for months, we need to enjoy this time because we are very much in a golden era. And it's great to win these SEC titles like this and to have our football team improving dramatically like it has over the last couple of years with Heupel and Danny White, and to have our basketball team win an SEC, go so far in the NCAA tournament, and now here we are on the cusp of maybe we'll break that curse of being a number one ranked team in the country and winning the World Series. That's very hard to do. It's extremely difficult to even make it to the World Series, even if you're ranked number one, because there is no more fickle sport than baseball. A great team can be beat by a middle-of-the-road team very easily in baseball. It's just you get one pitcher that's hot and you hit the ball in the wrong spots, and all of a sudden you lose a game. That's why it's super difficult to be ranked number one and win the whole thing. It's just there's a curse there for a reason. This team could break it. You never know. They got a lot of moxie. Anyway, I did want to do this video today because it is just, sometimes you just got to sit back and just enjoy what's happening. And that's what I've been doing. That tournament yesterday was super fun. And then, of course, winning the conference with the basketball team, beating South Carolina at South Carolina. Then we beat Alabama at home and cinched up that SEC title. That was a lot of fun, and that was just, a couple of months ago. Anyway, I hope you Tennessee folks are enjoying the crap out of this as much as I am. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Let's continue to cover all these big sporting events. And if you've not subscribed, hit this little button right here. Will not cost you a dime and helps me out. I would appreciate it. And right over here's the most recent video. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. And we'll see you next time on Sports Talk Jay.